The starship Eclipse drifted silently through the void, its hull scarred from countless battles. Captain Elias Grant leaned back in his command chair, his sharp blue eyes scanning the holographic display in front of him. The crew was exhausted, their supplies running low, and the ship's engines were barely holding together. But Elias wasn't the kind of man to give up, not when there was still a chance to survive. Captain, his first officer, Lieutenant Mara Voss, called out, her voice tense. We're picking up a distress signal. Weak, but it's there. Elias straightened. Origin? Unknown. It's not a human frequency. Alien tech, maybe about 2 light minutes away. Elias hesitated for a moment. They were in no position to play the hero, but ignoring a distress signal went against everything he stood for. Set a course. Let's see who's out there. The Eclipse altered its trajectory, its engines groaning in protest. As they approached the source of the signal, the scanners revealed a small, sleek vessel, alien in design, with elegant curves and a shimmering silver hull. It was adrift, its engines dark, and its hull pockmarked with damage. Life signs? Elias asked. One, Mara replied. Faint but alive. Prepare a boarding party. Let's see if we can help. The airlock hissed as it sealed behind Elias and his team. The alien ship's interior was dimly lit, the walls glowing faintly with bioluminescent patterns. The air was cool and carried a faint, metallic scent. They moved cautiously, their weapons drawn, until they reached the source of the life signs. In the center of the ship's main chamber, slumped against the console, was an alien. He was tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like liquid silver. His eyes, large and almond-shaped, glowed a soft blue. He wore a robe of intricate design, adorned with symbols that seemed to shift and change as Elias looked at them. The alien raised his head weakly, his gaze locking onto Elias. Human, he rasped, his voice melodic but strained. You came. Elias knelt beside him. We're here to help. Can you stand? The alien nodded, though it clearly took effort. With Elias's assistance, he rose to his feet. I am Prince Kael of the Zynari, he said, his voice gaining strength. My ship was attacked by the Krylos. They left me for dead. The Krylos? Mara asked, her brow furrowing. They're scavengers. Why would they attack you? Kael's expression darkened. They seek to destabilize my people. I was on a diplomatic mission when they ambushed me. If they succeed, war will engulf this sector. Elias exchanged a glance with Mara. This was bigger than they'd anticipated. We'll get you to safety, he said, but we're not exactly in great shape ourselves. Kael's eyes softened. You have my gratitude, human, and my word. If you aid me, I will ensure your people are rewarded. The journey back to Zynari space was tense. The Eclipse was barely holding together, and the Krylos were still out there, hunting for any sign of Kael. But the alien prince proved to be a valuable ally. His knowledge of the region's star systems helped them avoid patrols, and his calm demeanor kept the crew focused. As they neared the Zynari homeworld, Kael approached Elias on the bridge. Captain Grant, he said, his tone formal. I owe you a debt that cannot be repaid with mere words. My people have a tradition, a way of honoring those who have shown great courage and loyalty. Elias raised an eyebrow. What kind of tradition? Kael hesitated, then spoke. I offer you my sister, Princess Lira, as a bond of alliance between our peoples. She is wise, kind, and strong. She will serve as a bridge between humans and Zynari. Elias blinked, taken aback. You're giving me your sister? Not as a possession, Kael clarified quickly. As a partner, a symbol of unity. She will come with you, learn of your ways, and share ours with you. It is the highest honor I can bestow. Elias glanced at Mara, who looked equally stunned. I don't know what to say. Say you accept, Kael urged. It is the only way I can ensure my people will never forget what you have done." Elias took a deep breath. "All right, I accept." The Zynari homeworld was a breathtaking sight, a planet of shimmering oceans and towering crystalline cities. The Eclipse was greeted with honor, its crew treated as heroes. But Elias couldn't shake the feeling of unease. He was about to meet the princess who had been offered to him, and he had no idea what to expect. In the grand hall of the royal palace, Elias stood before the Zynari court. Kael was at his side, and at the far end of the room, a figure approached. She was tall and graceful, her silver skin glowing softly. Her eyes, a deep violet, met Elias's with a mixture of curiosity and resolve. "Captain Grant," she said, her voice like music, "I am Lira. My brother has told me much of you." Elias bowed slightly. "Princess, it's an honor." Lira smiled. "The honor is mine. I look forward to learning of your people and sharing mine with you." As the ceremony continued, Elias found himself drawn to Lira's presence. She was intelligent and articulate, with a quiet strength that reminded him of the best leaders he'd known. But he couldn't shake the feeling that this arrangement was more than just a gesture of goodwill. Weeks turned into months as Lira integrated herself into the crew of the Eclipse. She proved to be a quick learner, adapting to human customs with ease. But as they traveled together, Elias began to notice something. Subtle glances, unspoken words. There was a connection forming between them, one that went beyond duty or tradition. One night, as they stood on the observation deck, watching the stars streak by, Lira broke the silence. "Elias," she said softly, "do you ever wonder why my brother offered me to you?" Elias frowned. "I assumed it was about alliance, about honoring a debt." Lira shook her head. "It was more than that. My brother saw something in you, a strength, a kindness. He believed you could protect me, not just from the Krylos, but from the expectations of my people." Elias turned to her, his brow furrowed. "What do you mean?" Lira's eyes glistened. "I was to be married to a Krylos warlord, a political alliance to prevent war. But I could not bear the thought of it. My brother risked everything to save me from that fate. And when you came, he saw a chance to give me a new path." Elias's heart ached at her words. "Lira, I had no idea." She smiled, a bittersweet expression. "You gave me freedom, Elias. And in doing so, you gave me a choice. I choose to stay with you. Not because of tradition, but because I want to." Elias reached out, taking her hand in his. "Then I choose you too, not as a prize, but as a partner." The Eclipse continued its journey, its crew stronger and more united than ever. With Lira by his side, Elias found a new purpose, not just as a captain, but as a bridge between worlds. Together, they faced the challenges ahead, knowing that their bond was more than just an alliance. And as the stars stretched out before them, Elias realized that sometimes the greatest rewards come not from what we seek, but from what we find along the way.